Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Speakeasy. I'm your host, Aldo. This is a Bootleggers podcast for all things Bootleggers related. Today with me, I have Scarcio, boss of the Vanguard. Say hello, Scarcio.
Hello, hi everybody. You want me to say more?
Yeah, go. Well,
Okay.
what's your name? Tell us what you do on Bootleggers, etc. Who are you?
Okay. Hey, what's up? I'm Scarcio. My real name's Sander. I'm 25. I live in Amsterdam. I'm boss of the Vanguard at the moment. I've been with them since I think about 2006, and just recently, really, I became boss by myself since Bonzo stepped down. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Fantastic. I'm really excited about this because obviously in episode 1, all we did really was talk to the staff about the staff. We didn't really talk about the game and what was going on in the game. So we're gonna have it's gonna be a lot different to episode 1. Basically, we're gonna talk about obviously a bit about the Vanguard, a little bit about Scarcio and his history. Definitely be talking about the shooting that happened yesterday. If you're not already aware, you should be. The Vanguard shot, I think it was Event Horizon, Dutch Inc., Axtes, Arab Inc. Is that the 4 crews anymore?
Yes, correct. No, that's it.
Awesome.
And a few undergrounds from all 3 crews.
Awesome. So we're going to cover most of that today, along with some other things. So I'm quite excited. So, I mean, first off, what we'll talk about is a little bit of history. A lot of people enjoyed that trip down memory lane with both Flames and Riot on episode 1. So we'll do that. We'll find out a little bit more about you and how you started Bootleggers. What was your first crew, etc. Go on, just tell us your story from the start.
Yeah, cool. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna move to the chair left of me because the window behind me is really annoying.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. All right, cool. So I started in around, yeah, it's hard to remember, but I guess I was in 7th grade of primary school, if that's how you call it in England. Yeah, my brothers were playing the game, so basically I saw them playing it, signed up myself, and we were doing it after school, during school mostly. It was very hard at the beginning because it's all in English and I'm Dutch, so I actually really managed to get my skills up through the game. Yeah, I was just a kid, I was a noob, as you call it. I had no clue what I was doing. I was just criming and then dying at some point. And trying over again. I was in a crew at the moment. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like an underground crew. It wasn't really important after all, but the guy basically instantly promoted me to underboss when I joined.
Wow.
So I guess it wasn't much. We died a couple weeks later and nothing happened. I never heard of the guy again. So yeah, you know how it goes. And then I guess when I was 1 or 2 years into the game, I think I joined the Vanguard. Yeah, I spoke to Butters, I believe. Butters recruited me, or maybe the Phantom back then was a crew boss. And they talked me in, and I was just, the regular member doing crimes, helping out where needed, and everything. Yeah, that went on for a while. Then the Vanguard disappeared, or I think I disappeared for a couple of years. Then I was around here and there, not really doing anything interesting. And then I came back and joined Pedrino's Palace. I think that was round
Pedrino's
7.
Palace, yeah, that was round 7. Round 7.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, I joined Pedrino's Palace. Jalby was boss there, and Sulfur. Or Sodium he was called. Yeah, Sulfur. Yeah, that was really nice, and I became council at one point. And I believe I made underboss in the end with Tiger Queen. Yeah, I really missed those guys. It was a lot of fun. It was a great crew, by the way. But and then I think round 8 started, or it was later in round 7. No, round 8, because the Vanguard wasn't around in 7. Yeah, round 8 started, and I saw a Bonzo around, and I was one of the richest players at the start of the round. And he told me, "Hey, I remember you. I'm looking to set up the Vanguard. Do you want to join me?" And I said, sure. So I bought us a crew spot. I think we were second or something, having a crew. And yeah, it went from there. I basically became instant counsel because yeah, we were just starting up again. We didn't know
Because
even
money
who was
talks,
playing.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it was just Jimmy Bonzo who wanted to start up again, but we really had to find who was up for it because TV hadn't been playing around seven.
Hmm.
So yeah, we went from there, and it seemed there were a lot of guys who wanted to come back, so that was a lot of fun. And yeah, from there, I think most know what happened, but we became quite big. We have a lot of old members. I went up in the ranks. By now, I'm crew boss.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Just to while we're talking about history, I don't know if you've seen or not. I think you probably did. I think everyone's seen. There was some smart ass posted in the forum after episode one. It's, oh, but Aldo, you're a member of the syndicate. Why didn't you bring that up in your podcast? Are you trying to
Obviously.
get moderator? But just so everyone knows, yes, I am a member of the syndicate. I did leave Most Wanted for the Syndicate. That is a big part of my playing history. I'm not trying to hide it from anyone because everyone already knows.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
what was his name? Thunderlight or something?
Could be. I don't remember names. That's your thing.
I think it was Thunderlight. He got banned like instantly afterwards. So it's obviously someone who's just made the account just to purposely post that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that
moving
was nice.
moving swiftly on. We'll talk about obviously you are the boss of the Vanguard now.
Yeah.
Bonzo has stepped down. I remember when he first did step down. He wrote a lot of stuff on his profile. At first, it was with a heavy heart. He stepped down because of health issues and the help desk
Yeah.
operator role and other things. It's constantly chopped and changed a little bit. But now I think it just basically says I have stepped down, and there's not much more to it. Do you think you?
Yeah.
So how did that come about? What's it like now being the sole boss of the Vanguard?
Yeah. Basically, I don't want to get too personal about Bonzo's situation, but he has some health issues. So he decided to step down because he couldn't put in the time he could back then anymore. Um, and then we were discussing that really how that would go down, and then he became a help desk operator. So we figured, bye, thank you, see you next time. Um, yeah, sorry. uh, um, I'm totally gone here. Uh, oh yeah, okay. So yeah, we spoke about that a little, and we figured it would be better if he was, seen more as an objective person. Being boss, one of the crew. Some people might think when you answer help desk tickets or are helpful in the forum, they think you pick a side. Um, Most people will think he still does, obviously, but we tried for him to be as neutral as possible. So stepping down was a good choice, I guess. And yeah, I mean, obviously he's still around a lot. He's still the yin to my yang, as we say. Um, he's my right hand man, and I still can't do this stuff without him. But yeah, the sole responsibility and final call is now with me, I guess.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's understandable if there are health issues and that involved. I mean, it's understandable to step down for something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, he did get that HDO spot. You and I both did apply for that HDO spot, and we
Yes, we
had
did.
some heated words afterwards regarding the decision.
Yes, but we
But obviously,
sucked. So
then obviously out of nowhere, both Shy Guy and Bonzo got the job, and they didn't even apply for it.
yeah.
Do you think Bonzo's a good HDO? I think that's a good choice.
um, to be honest, I do because he really has a heart for the game. He has had for years, and he has a lot of time now. He's at home a lot. Yeah, I think he's a good choice.
You think he's better than you?
Yes.
It pains you to say that, doesn't it?
No, well, actually he did apply for the job, but he pulled his application last minute.
Hmm.
Um, uh, yeah, I haven't had any words from Riot Flames or Kyle why I was declined, for example, but I could understand why I would be declined because I'm not as active as I used to be.
Hmm.
I can be gone for 6 days in a row for work and not be on there at all. So yeah, kind of makes sense, you know. And my position as crew boss, as we discussed earlier about Bonzo, might make people wonder if they have preferences or anything, you know. So I'm fine with it actually.
Yeah.
Being a boss is busy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
So,
about you?
what?
What about you?
What about
You think
me?
you think Bonzo is a better HDO than you?
Nah. I'll be honest. No.
Yeah, perfect.
He's done all right, to be fair. But the thing is with Bonzo, like, I think he can go from being the nicest, most respectable guy you could ever meet, and then something pisses him off, and then it's like a light switch. It just goes boom, and then he becomes absolutely horrible, and he will be the biggest he will be the biggest bastard you've ever met in your life, and he will just, you do know what I mean, though, don't you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he does a lot to me.
yeah. If you do something that he doesn't agree with, or you piss him off, it's like a light switch, and he will just go at you and go at you and go at you. Yeah. So, but other than that, I haven't seen that side from Bonzo since he did get promoted. So hopefully he can keep
Yeah,
it up. Hopefully he can keep on doing a good job.
yeah.
Um.
I,
So
th- I think the real issue you and I had was just the way it went, you know, because we applied and we didn't hear anything, and then they suddenly didn't need a HDO, and then they did. It
yeah,
was just weird. So that
it
was,
is what it is. They obviously had their
yeah.
reasons, and it's not. I mean, you're not going to be salty about it. It's not a big deal at the end of the day, is it? Um.
No, we found out we didn't get paid for it, so it's good, huh?
So, obviously we seen this big old ass shooting yesterday. Um, you made a topic in the game forum afterwards called
Yeah,
"Firing the Hole," was it?
fire it all, XXTV.
Yeah. And one of the biggest reasons you've performed this shooting is because, was it Merlo kept on shooting you continuously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Merlot, yes.
I mean, to an extent, I can respect that. That's pretty cool. Not you being shot over and over again.
Well, it was pretty
Well,
cool. He shot me from what was it? Gangster yesterday.
did
It
he?
was awesome. Yeah,
That's class.
yeah,
But
that's class.
yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of old bootleggers, if you will, because back then, imagine shooting a crew boss and not getting away with it.
Yeah,
It never happened. So I think that's quite cool that you have gone to this extent of shooting like all these four crews just because this guy kept shooting you. It
yeah,
shows that the crew does actually respect you as the new boss. Um, you did speak a little bit about some other things in the topic, like domination tendencies that have been displayed
yes.
by the Axtes Alliance. And obviously, you mentioned some underground mind games as well. Can you shed some light on that, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said most that I wanted to say in the topic because I don't want to, you know, talk about my sources and where I get my information. But, you know, you've been in the syndicate. We've known the syndicate for a while. We've been in war with them for like years. Um, we just know, like for example, let's take for example Spine. You know, we know that guy. He's really good with like convincing people to do stuff for him. You know, that's the way he plays, and it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's really good at it.
Hmm.
Um, and we know, yeah, the syndicate just worked that way. Used to work that way. XT is as good at this as well. So we had a lot of information of them speaking to other crews, getting under other crews to do actions which would favor them in the end. Um, yeah, all of that information combined basically um, made us think they had the tendency to get back on top. To give an example, I could share the Sacred Empire had been thinking about getting Bullet Factory. They weren't yet clear on the target. Obviously, they have history with Event Horizon, so
Hmm.
that would have been their most obvious target. And suddenly they turn out to shoot the dog pound and Drangheta, or however the fuck that's pronounced.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Drangheta.
yeah.
I don't know, man. However, yeah, so I was kind of confused by that. I spoke to TSE and other crews and the dog pound, etc. And basically, what we felt was the end reason was that they are friends with Kaufman, obviously,
hmm
who's boss of XT's ex council or boss, I don't know, of TSE, and he now protects Event Horizon because they're in their alliance. Um, and we feel XT's kind of got them into shooting the dog pound instead because they know the Vanguard is close to the dog pound.
hmm
We might have retaliated against TSE, and then what do you get? TSE and TV in the fight. Basically, both the biggest threats to a crew like XT's to dominate. So yeah, that sounds really vague, and of course, it sounds like paranoia to most players. But obviously, they don't get the information I get on a daily basis from all over the place. So yeah, that's about it.
I mean, it's all good and well saying that, but Ndrangheta, Nino's crew, they've
Sorry.
Ndrangheta, Nino's crew,
Yeah.
they've openly been in an alliance with Axties, Dutchink, etc. I mean, they've even shot together. When
Yep.
TSE shot Ndrangheta, this alliance didn't retaliate. They left it on to Nino to do his own work.
Exactly.
So you think what basically what you're saying, that was a play to try and turn
Yes.
TSE and the Vanguard against each other.
Yeah, or maybe just TSE and the dog pound slash Ndrangheta. But you know, that's exactly the point. What you're saying, they were in an alliance with them. We are positively convinced X had a play in that TSE shot TDP in the first place,
hmm
and then they don't stand up for them while they were in their alliance. So it's those are the kind of games the Vanguard would never play. We would never let someone be shot and just let them drop. Um, so yeah, in the end, it's just experience from history, and we think in the end, XT is the kind of crew that wants to dominate. In the end,
hmm
um, yeah. So that was those were things we were thinking about shooting them, but we never got to the point, and then basically Merlot gave us the push.
Yeah, I mean by doing this though, by shooting those crews and displaying the power of the Vanguard, are you then not just taking the mantle of what would have been Axt's mantle?
Good question. Well, basically, it's one crew against four now, so I don't think we have any chance of domination at the
hmm
moment. If XTs gets back at us, we are not in any alliance. I can't speak for other crews if they would shoot back for us, but we've told everybody we would never shoot back for them. Um, so yeah, I think X, especially with Event Horizon combined, can completely obliterate us. So yeah, we have no tendency to dominate. We have only one crew spot. We currently have 3 bullet factories, but we're planning to selling off the other 2. Yeah, we just want
Do you think anyone will buy them? With them being obviously
dirty.
dirty bullet factories.
I don't know. Yeah, I think people in the end want bullet factories, so
Would you
they can
sell?
either.
Would you sell them cheap? Because
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, probably. Because I think they're worth tens of Ks of gold. I mean, they're
hmm
at least 10,000 gold because they make massive profit. Um, so yeah, we would probably sell them for around 5K, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and if it turns out nobody wants to buy them, we might keep them for a while to make profit and then maybe give them away or something. I don't know.
Okay, so you heard it here first, guys. If you want a bullet factory 5K, go see Scarcio and he'll hook you up.
Sure.
So I mean, obviously you've just said about the Vanguard currently not being in alliance, but dare I say it, we've heard all that before, and
Yes.
we've heard all that before. The Vanguard have claimed neutrality, and then all of a sudden, wait there, Kaufman's Nation Dawn. We've been harbouring him all along. We're with TSE now. Fuck everyone. We're shooting you all.
Yeah, I understand.
So
Yeah. that's true.
Yeah, so you understand why people might be a little bit pessimistic about the Vanguard's claims of being
Of
neutral,
course,
and no,
of course.
so you're telling me, let's say these crews shot at you tomorrow,
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect someone like TSE to return fire upon them.
No, I
Do
wouldn't.
you think TSE might do that just out of the goodness of their heart, maybe?
That could be. I think it will be very hard to stop TRF from doing it, for example.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with
but
that.
but you know, I told them hundreds of times we are not expecting them to, and we wouldn't do the same thing back. So that's on their own accord. You know,
Hmm.
we're not in. We don't have an agreement for it. So, but of course, I won't stop anyone from shooting for us. I mean, saves us a lot of gold. But now we're really in. We really want to fight our own wars.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can definitely respect that. I mean, that is the attitude that's needed to take the game away from this alliance meta domination bullshit that we've seen for so long.
Yeah.
That is definitely the attitude we need. Do you think it's doable now? Do you think it's something that can be done, or do you think that the game is now just set in its own ways? These alliances have been together for such a long time that these friendships have been made that it's a bad habit to break, really.
I think it is because, you know, obviously it works being in an alliance. Sorry, just a little burp there. um, yeah, I mean, for example, XT's Event Horizon, like I said, if they go put all their power towards the Vanguard, I mean, I don't think we have a shot. You know, we have a lot of resources, obviously, so we'll shoot them for eternity until it's gone. But
Hmm.
in the end, I think they will definitely win a war between the two of them against us. Um, and that's the whole point why alliances exist in the first place,
Hmm.
I guess. Like you mentioned, when we had Kaufman in our crew and we were with TSE, we were really planning on neutrality, but once we got shot, I think we basically found out there's no fucking way we can have a shot at playing this game normally without being in one.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think for a lot of crews, it's just safer to like make this group of friends base slash allies um, to have a fighting chance if another group attacks them. But I really hope we can break through that. It would be awesome. Yeah, I would really like that.
Yeah, I mean, talking about all the alliances, we haven't discussed yet the other side of the spectrum. We've got another alliance who are openly an alliance at the moment that consists of the Sunday Alliance, if you will, who shot not so long ago after the Bullet event. That was like Death Valley, the company. I know Most Wanted didn't shoot at that time, but they are presumed to be a part of that alliance. Um, is this not just paving the way for them to then come to the top? Obviously, you've shot one half of the game's alliance. What happens if these guys come to the top and then they start shooting crewless accounts and they start dominating, but they leave you alone because you are, as you say, neutral? Would you then retaliate in the game's favor then, considering as well you were in an alliance with these guys last round? Is
Yeah, I think so. We've been really upfront with everybody so far this round. I mean, I spoke to TSE as well. TSE have three crew spots, I guess, at the moment.
Mhm.
We've told them as well, you know, they're very long time friends. We have no reason to shoot them at all. But if for some reason they ever turn out to try to dominate the game, we will step up. Um, and I think the same counts for TC, Most Wanted, DV, whatever. Although they do deny they're in an alliance if you ask them. Um, I don't know about that, how in the end. But you know, if they come on top basically with their alliance and they go grab every crew spot like basically we did with them last round, um, yeah, I think we would move on them as well.
Mhm.
So we rather be kicked underground and fight with every crew than allow that kind of gameplay again. Because how the game was at the start of this round up till now, I really like it, to be honest. There's a
Yeah,
lot of independent crews.
yeah, it's been good. One independent crew, Damodisi, whatever you call my crew. You guys, you were actually going to shoot them yesterday, weren't you? You were going to shoot them, and that
You oh,
and
they escaped a lot of bullets.
yeah, I mean, but then again, like you said you were going to shoot them because you assumed that they were with XTs. I assume that's because I was part of that crew.
You and like several other names. There's a lot of XXT's members in there.
Is there?
Yep.
Who?
I don't know from the head, man, but we have all these kind of sheets. My guys keep track of that.
As far as I know Gacha was in there recently.
Yeah, we shot him.
Yeah, I know Gacha died. He actually isn't anything to do with this day anymore.
No, I know. I
Yeah,
spoke to him today, and
yeah,
we're really sorry.
yeah. But again, so you were gonna make that call based on nothing but assumptions.
Yes,
Does that then not what's the word? Does that then not go back and make you guys look a little bit like hypocrites because you don't have that solid evidence and you might have been shooting a purely independent crew that has nothing to do with any of the alliances, just on speculation and nothing else.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think in the end you can't 100% get evidence for everything you want in bootleggers. I mean, in the end, you have to make a call, and basically, you were one of the main reasons we wanted to shoot Guy Medici.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I've spoken to you a lot this round, but in the end, you know how bootleggers work. I mean, people say anything to
Of
bring
course.
their tactics. So you saying you were not with XTs anymore. I mean, you could have said that if you were. So in the end, we made the call to shoot Day Medici and Hell's Angels. And then it turned out they shot Hell's Angels one day before.
Yeah. Trust me, I know all about them shooting Hell's Angels.
Yeah, we were completely flabbergasted by that.
Yeah,
What the fuck is happening? So yeah.
that was a bit of a weird one, to be honest. I don't know. I don't understand. I've sat and spoke to them, and I still don't understand the reasoning behind it. I think it's just kind of like they're a bit bored. They just wanted to flex a little bit, but they don't understand that literally every crew on the stats belongs to someone now. That like there is very few independent crews. Rarely, Dima Dissy. I don't even know if I'm saying that right or not. Dima Dizzy are one of the independent crews, but by shooting them, obviously I had XTs breathing down my neck. Like, why are these people that? Why are your friends shooting us? Basically, just like I told you, I can't do anything about that anymore. That's not my role in the game anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Yeah, it was weird.
I fully expected retaliation, to be honest, from XTs. I know they wouldn't have shot. They probably wouldn't have shot me, but they might have shot the crew. But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Huh? Yeah, we basically I really thanked Giovanni, the boss of De Medici, because he saved us a lot of gold. Because we were going to shoot them and Hell's Angels. They took Hell's Angels out, and we decided, well, I guess they're not with XT, so we dropped them as a target and made the shooting really easier for us because we would have dropped 147 accounts, I believe, in our original calculations. Yeah, and I don't know how many it were now, but it was way less.
I'm sure XTs are absolutely elated to find out that news that them shooting someone by mistake and not actually realizing who they were has made the Vanguard save a lot of gold and potentially making more enemies than they needed to do from this shooting.
Yeah.
So obviously Bonzo has stepped down. You're the boss now. Do you think you're a better boss than Bonzo?
No,
No. Why is that?
no. I think Bonzo is a bit better at bootleggers tactics than I am. I I really say a lot in the forums, but I mean that I never lie and I don't like to lie. I don't like to backstab. I don't like to betray my word, And although Bonzo never really backstabbed anyone either from the Vanguard or any like that, he's just better at playing the politics side of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at that because I say this to one crew boss. I don't want to say anything else to another crew boss, like that.
Yeah.
So I actually find it really tough so far. I think crew bosses have seen some changes since I stepped up. Because I basically say no to any request from another crew so far. So yeah, I think Bonzo is a better boss in that regard. On the other side, we always had two roles. He was the politics man, and I was the crew man. I'm just better at like the human relation part of being a crew boss. So I've always been the guy managing our own members and
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of stuff. So
I think for crews to be successful, you kind of need that. You need the politics guy, and you need the guy who's going to be pretty much like the face of the crew, and the,
yeah,
deals with the crew management and the members and stuff to basically just keep them happy.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that is the balance that you need to run a successful crew. And who is anyone to argue about how successful the Vanguard have been, because it's been absolutely spectacular over the past few rounds.
Thank
Um,
you.
so we'll move away from the Vanguard now. And we'll talk a little bit about the
Okay,
game
before
itself.
you do, I do feel I have to say that the council is a really big part of my crew.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's been about Bonzo and me, but the Vanguard wouldn't have been successful with just the two of us. So,
You
just a
you
big shout out
you
to those
guys
guys.
you guys have got like an incredibly large council, haven't you? Isn't it like
Yeah, I think it's 15 or 20 people in there.
15? That's huge. That's a huge
Yeah.
amount of people to have in a council. But
Yeah,
like I said, it
we once made
works.
the rule that if you were loyal to us for 3 years, you would basically become council.
Hmm.
And almost all our members are more than 3 years now. So yeah,
So we will move away
thanks.
from the Vanguard
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Now
Sorry.
you've done your little shout
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
out.
Thanks.
So obviously there's been a lot of changes this round. Um, how do you feel about this round, and obviously the changes that have come, like the kill feature, the new bullet factory, stuff like that. Basically, what are your thoughts about that? Are you enjoying it? Do you think it could be better? Is there anything you'd change about it?
Well, first of all, I love it. I love that there's change. I mean, it's been the same for years. So, any change was welcome, I think, by the community, and we feel the same way. Um, Yeah, I mean, in regards to individual features, there could be some changes, I guess. I think the WAG feature became a bit too easy.
Hmm.
Um, on the other hand, it does give a chance for, individuals to do a shooting. Obviously, for a crew like the Vanguard, we make a bullet calculation first month, no matter how it works. But it's fun that people now just get to shoot and they don't have to calculate stuff. They just click an option.
They just need to save
Um,
up a lot of bullets.
Yes, that's the thing I don't like. It's way too expensive to shoot,
It's so expensive, isn't it?
especially Dawn Plus. I mean,
Mhm.
it's all about the health points, and they increase drastically above Dawn.
Mhm.
I think it's really out of balance, especially if you compare the amount of extra damage you do being a Dawn shooting.
Mhm.
Uh, it should be the same as it used to be. Like it's about 50k bullets to shoot your own rank.
Yeah.
Now, if you shoot an Eldon, being an Eldon, I believe it's 87,100
It's a
with
lot.
the highest option. It's way too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an issue. I think the 98% chance is an issue. Um, I really think there should be an option to shoot someone 100%.
Mhm.
Uh, Especially for those guys that save up, individually. I mean, if we fail a shoot with the Vanguard, we just have 5 backup searches, so we shoot them with someone else. But if one guy saves up all around to shoot someone and it fails because of 2%, I think that's ridiculous.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Obviously, we've got like rackets as well, which has caused absolutely super inflation in the game.
Yeah,
I've never seen
crazy,
this amount of money in the game at this point of a round
crazy.
before. Um, I mean, as fun as it is, and as entertaining as all these like these community events like Florida and other stuff, it's bringing so much money into the game. And one thing that I know that the staff team are wanting to do is expand the game. They're wanting
Yeah.
to grow the game. I mean, who wouldn't? That's what you want for a business like this. Do you not think that with this super inflation, it just makes it so much harder for new people to come in and play the game, because people have already got themselves that established? There's that much money in the game. It's hard to come by themselves.
Uh, Yeah, yeah, I do see what you mean. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if you come in with a group of 20 people now and start a crew, I think it would be really hard to win from like a crew like the Vanguard or the
Yeah.
Sacred Empire. The amount of resources we've gathered by now, it's insane. I don't think anyone can make that starting now.
Hmm.
Um, That said, I do believe Kyle said back in the last round that his goal was to make shorter rounds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna
So
say.
yeah,
It
so then it makes sense actually.
it leans towards the favor of shorter rounds. It's
Yeah,
almost like this round 9.75 is just like a really big test round for what's going to be round 10.
yeah,
I hope he keeps the same layout. I hope he doesn't go to
yeah,
that. I mean, I think the changes are all brilliant, but I hope he keeps the same layout, and I hope he doesn't try and call it something swanky or anything. Just call it round 10.
yeah, yeah,
You know, round
yeah.
this.
But I think Kyle just wants to keep. I think from what we've seen from him, he's a very perfectionist guy.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to unleash his big round 10 thing until it's absolutely perfect. So yeah, I think he'll that'll take a while.
he did try once, and
Yeah.
it wasn't perfect.
No, no, I know. I didn't play that round, so I have no
No,
there.
it wasn't great, but I think Kyle will be the first person to admit that. Speaking about Kyle, obviously, there's been changes with the staff this round. We've got two new moderators. We've got this new BSF, not BSF anymore. Kyle Croft. He's
Yeah.
very interactive. What do you think about the new staff team, and what do you think about this new reinvented himself, Kyle Croft?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's really what the game needed. For example, well, Kyle, firstly, um, I've told him millions of times in messages, and I used to email him sometimes when I found cheaters because he doesn't tend to reply to help desk tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Not to emails either, don't worry. But um, but I used to tell him, communication is key of running a good business. So you need to work on that, or you need to hire people. You need to get people to do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think he really stepped up his game in that regard. He's really communicative. Communicative, yeah. So yeah, that's brilliant, and he's working hard. He's making changes. If he misses a deadline, he admits it. Stuff like that, just
Mm-hmm.
not hearing anything and not seeing anything when it's been announced. That was really frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as to Riot and Flames, I love those guys. They are so active.
They've
They
been
are
brilliant, aren't they? They
they are
have been
brilliant.
brilliant.
They've basically wiped half the game of cheaters, which I love. Yeah, I mean the old staff was kind of, I think, bored of it. I don't know.
They,
They were really hard to reach.
yeah,
The only
absolutely.
person I sometimes spoke to was Mika,
Hmm.
and it was sometimes really hard to communicate with him. And
It's like
uh,
they developed kind of like, I won't say god complex, but they definitely developed.
exactly,
They did definitely developed egos, don't they?
yeah,
You don't see that. You don't feel that when you're speaking to Riot and Flames. You feel like they have the best intentions for the game.
absolutely,
Whereas the old elite guard, comparing it to them, it was more like, nah, fuck you, you're a cheater, I'm gonna ban you. And then
yeah, yeah,
get
yeah,
a little,
exactly,
get a little hard on, like, oh yeah, he gets
yeah, yeah,
banned.
yeah.
But I mean, the majority of the time, what they were doing was probably correct. It was just the way that they went about it. It was their attitude towards that I didn't like.
Yeah, it didn't really help the game either because I used to, and I still do now, report every cheater I find. And with Mika at some point I just stopped because he would never listen to anyone anyways.
No, he was just not.
So I
His
was just
own
like, never
opinion.
mind. Yeah. So and with Riot and Flames, I mean, those guys instantly thank you. They get into it and they have a look. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like for example, yesterday, Florida, the whole Florida thing kind of almost ruined our shooting
Hmm.
because we could not travel to Florida, but people were there. So yeah, of course you now have this the search window, the 15 minutes we had. We used the second detective. Um, if those guys would have traveled back at some point, we didn't have them found. And XTs would have given them like a shitload of money here, do all 50 million searches. They could have basically wrecked half of the Vanguard.
Yeah.
So we were really pissed about that. In the end, I waited up till 4 a.m. with some guys to be able to shoot the guys when they got out of Florida. Um, but stuff like that, I messaged Riot in bootleggers, obviously. Hey, there's an issue with Florida, and Kyle came on like 10 minutes later. I guess he called him or something.
Hmm.
In the end, they didn't really do anything, but you know, they were open to suggestions, or at least they spoke to me like, "Sorry, we announced it's 10 p.m., so it stays 10 p.m. We can't do anything."
Yeah.
And that's the whole point, being open about stuff like that and
You,
and reachable. So yeah.
I mean, you could have
Uh,
planned your shooting for after 10 p.m. really, couldn't
yeah, yeah, exactly. I
you?
mean, we were hitting ourselves in the head. Like, when do we
Yeah.
fucking learn? Every time there's an event, it gets screwed in the end. So don't do it. But yeah, you
So,
know.
between the three of them, well, Kyle, Flames, and Riot, if you have to kiss one, marry one, kill one, who would it be?
I would marry Kyle because he's rich as fuck, I think, by now. um,
Brilliant.
no, kiss, marry, kill. I think I would kiss Flames because I've laughed a lot about the guy in the last speakeasy. The guy's very funny. I think I would marry Riot because he's the one I've had the most contact with. I would kill Kyle because he's never killable in the game. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I guess that's it.
So, obviously, when we ended the last speakeasy episode 1, we spoke about the spirit animal question in the HDO application. Obviously, you and I both applied for the HDO position. So
I see the pain, man.
So I'm
It's okay,
interested.
Aldo. It's okay.
I'm interested to know what your answer to that question was. What is your spirit animal and why?
Okay, I found it a really hard question because I don't have a spirit animal
No,
or anything.
I
But
don't.
of
I don't
course,
think anyone
I
has a
think
spirit
no one
animal.
has one.
Yeah, that's
I wrote up the links. I don't know if it's pronounced that way. It's like a small cat that lives in the snow. Um, because I had a poster of it in my room when I was young. Yeah, that was about it.
Do you know what mine was?
Yeah, sure.
So I said that my spirit animal is a hippopotamus
Why?
because I'm really big and I'm really fast. That's what I said.
Nice. I like that.
Awesome. So I mean that just about wraps everything up, Scarcio. Is there anything that you'd like to say to end on? Any shout outs you'd like to give to anyone? Anyone you'd like to
Um,
call out? Bit of beef you want to start maybe?
Come at me, bro. No, actually, there's one thing I'd like to discuss.
Yeah.
I want your opinion on basically. I don't know if you've paid attention to our forum post yesterday,
Mhm.
and if you've seen the reaction made by Dalton.
I haven't seen it. I looked and it had already been deleted when I looked, so
Yeah, okay.
I don't exactly know what it was about.
Yeah, it was. It ended up being a very personal post about personal information. Yeah, it was really sad. Anyone that reads it probably agrees with me that Dalton is an evil person and should rot in hell. But I just wanted to ask you, what what do you think? Where does it end, and how has it been in recent years? Like, where does it become a game, and where does it become
I
personal?
mean,
Where's the line?
there's always a line. There's always a line. For me, um, I had one little personal spat with Aaron, but that's only because he got personal with me, and it was just kind of like back and forth stuff, and it's stuff that I regret saying, and that's not really me. Um, but since that, I learned from it, and I just take bootleggers for what it is now. It's a game at the end of the day, and
Exactly.
you should never, ever, ever talk about personal things or go out. I don't think you should go out of your way to try and offend someone. If you can't beat someone with the intelligence and on the game itself, then don't stoop to a level where you're trying to actually hurt someone's feelings just over bootlegs. I mean, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a
Yeah,
game. We all play it to have fun. We all play it with our friends. Don't take
exactly.
things so personally. Don't get personal with stuff, and that's that
Yeah, I
basically.
agree. I was just wondering because Riot deleted the post and then someone told him you don't want to get into this. So yeah, I mean it's for them a hard line to draw, I guess. Where does it
Hmm.
get too personal?
Yeah,
So yeah, I just wanted to know what you thought about it.
I think that there's always a line, and I think it's up to the moderators to create that line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I like the way you approach it. It's for me the same, you know. It's a game. I speak to. Yesterday we shot Arab Inc. and I ended up having a conversation with him, and it ended in, well, enjoy. See you later. Yeah, bye. You
Yeah,
know,
that's the best way to be, isn't it?
it's
That is
fun.
the best way to be.
If you play a game of FIFA on the PlayStation, you know, you're not gonna be mad at your mate if he wins.
I don't know about that. That's
Well, you're gonna be mad, but you're not gonna hate him for.
no, you're not gonna fall out with him, are you?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right then.
Um, yeah, no, that's about it for me. Thanks.
Awesome. So that's brilliant. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for taking part. And we will see you in episode 3, where we will probably have 2 special guests lined up for you. Thank you very much. Take it easy.
Thank
Ta-ra.
you.
Ta-ra. Bye.
See